There's a reason why I got the flames in the background. It's a pretty devastating moment, an upset in New York City. There was a Democratic primary with two leading candidates in the Democrat Party. Andrew Cuomo. We all know who Andrew Cuomo is, right? Andrew Cuomo. This was the guy during the pandemic that you could say that he did the best he could to make sure that New York City survived, but there was a lot of mistakes, maybe even grave mistakes that happened during that pandemic. And that ultimately caused him to lose, in my opinion. But the reason why I had the flames in the back, yes, I already said that Andrew Cuomo lost. But there's somebody else in particular that won. The second guy, Zohran Mamdani. Zohran Mamdani. This guy. Now, for the people that's not living in New York City, or for the people that say, or that say, yo, I don't know politics. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on in New York City, or I don't live in New York. So how the hell could I know what's going on? How could I possibly know what's going on? Let me read up a little profile on Zohran Mamdani. Okay? Because I could say what I know, but I'd rather pull it from the horse's mouth. Zohran Mamdani. This guy is a socialist. He's a socialist to one of the highest degrees ever. Okay? 33 years old, Indian Ugandan American, son of academic Madman Mamdani and filmmaker Mira Nai. Immigrated from Uganda at age 7, attended Bronx Science, and earned a bachelor's in Africana Studies. Career, blah, blah, blah. No, this is not important. That's not important. Political identity. Member of the Democratic Socialists of America. Identifies as a Democrat socialist, endorsed by progressive leaders including Bernie Sanders and AOC. This is automatically a red flag. Automatically a red flag. Because in a capitalist society where you can become rich if you work hard enough, if you take advantage of the opportunity, if you're smart enough, if you learn more, if you just got that competitive edge to become rich, you can become rich. With socialists, they want to spread the wealth. And they don't want to spread the wealth in a healthy way. They want to hike up your taxes. They want to give you, quote unquote, free shit. Quote unquote, free shit. But they not telling you with the free things that they give you, there is a major cost on the other end of that. So they sell you these dreams. Yo, we're gonna do $30 minimum wage. Oh my God, $30 minimum wage. Wow. Wow. But what they don't tell you, you know what? Before I even do that, let's get back to him. Before I even go on a rant. June 24th, today is the 26th as I am recording this, he defeated Andrew Cuomo with 43% of the vote, marking a major upset. Now tell me if any of this makes sense. For his campaign platform, which I pulled up on ChatGPT, most of you idiots out there should probably start using this thing and start doing your own research with this. You don't have to go to Google. You don't have to do endless searching. This does all the searching for you. Full campaign platform for Mr. Socialist Mamdani. Number one, housing and cost of living. Rent freeze on over 2 million rent stabilized apartments. Now, think about this. Those people that have got the buildings for those apartments, they got the buildings for those apartments, right? The reason why they bought those apartments to rent out is very simple. They want to make money. We in a capitalist society, they want to make money. The people that are becoming tenants and paying rent, they want a place to stay. So if you bring in a guy that's going to inflict irreparable harm to the business owners and the real estate agents and the landlords that own these apartments, guess what they're gonna do? They're going to leave, or they're gonna sue, or you're just not gonna have a home to live in. Ain't no rent freeze. This just doesn't make logical sense in so many ways. This happened during the pandemic. A lot of people, a lot of business owners, a lot of real estate agents, a lot of landlords lost a lot of money. If you lose a lot of money when you're a business owner, you're going to take your business elsewhere if that city is not adding to your business. You leave, less employees, less workers, more havoc that's going to be wreaked. Second thing, commission 200,000 new affordable rent stabilized units over the next decade, plus doubling rehab funding for public housing. You don't need rehab funding if you take the drugs off the streets. If you allow there to be rent stabilized units and the rent can't go up in these properties, and the people that has these properties see that, yo, if I go and buy this thing, I ain't gonna be able to make no money. You know what they're not gonna do? They're not gonna buy it. They're not gonna build it. People aren't gonna have homes unless, just like the socialist is gonna do, he's gonna use the government's budget or the budget for that city to spend on getting these rent stabilized units. And guess what? When people give you things at a low cost, or if it's free, you give something up for that. And they're not going to present what they're giving up, what you're going to give up, until it's actually built, until you sign that contract, until you read that contract. Empower a social housing development agency and promote upzoning near transit hubs. Sounds like some California shit. Okay. Number 2, free and affordable services. So under that, in the bullet point, what Zohran Mamdani is promising is free public transit. Eliminate fares on buses and train rides. Okay, Mamdani, let me ask you a question. How is the MTA gonna make their money? How are those workers, union workers, bus drivers, people are gonna make their money? how? Just give me how is this gonna work? Who's gonna pay that? Oh, I know who's gonna pay that. The city, quote unquote. The city will pay that. That includes the government of the city, and that also includes the workers of the city. So guess what? Your taxes are going to get hiked up to eliminate fares on buses and train rides, because the conductors and the bus drivers driving those things, they got to get paid. So that 5,000 that you're going to be bringing home is going to turn to 4,200 just off this one thing. If you was already bringing home 5,000 after taxes, this is going to be, you could say this is going to be 4,700, and you grossing 8,000. This is about 4,700 in New York after taxes. When you make it on an $8,000 gross, that's a 4,700 net. Universal child care. Oh my God, universal child care. That sounds so great. That sounds awesome, right? That sounds like an amazing thing. City funded. Who's the city? The people in the city. Don't get that wrong. City funded means the people in the city and the budget that's in the government of the city. You're gonna be paying this. You guys that are in New York still. I don't know why you're still in New York. You're gonna be paying this universal child care. 6 weeks to 5 years, you're gonna be paying no cost child care across New York City. Oh my God. This sounds so amazing. But guess what? When you got idealistic point of views and idealistic things that you want to bring forth into law, into the city's day to day, it has to make sense in the budget. Who's going to pay for this? Zohran Mamdani. Who's paying for universal childcare? This sounds like Canada. If your gross 3,000, you're gonna bring home 1,000. City-owned grocery stores. Wow. 5, 1 per borough. So every borough is gonna have 1 city-owned grocery stores to combat high food prices. So what's gonna happen to the Walmart, the C-Town, the what other things y'all got in New York? The Pathmark. So when you got a city-owned grocery store, right? Where are you getting the food from? You're getting it from farmers, aren't you? Farmers have their set price. I assume that if you're going to be lower than every other food store, that you're going to have competitive prices. But I don't know. Are you going to have the same product that the Walmart is going to have? Or are you going to have the same product that a Whole Foods is going to have? I'm willing to bet that you're going to have way worse food, way worse product than all them other spots. I'm willing to guess that. I'm willing to bet that. City-owned grocery stores. Okay, so when there is a negative deficit on these grocery stores, who is going to pay the difference when this thing is in the red? The city, the taxes on the people. So this is a third, fourth, fifth tax that I probably said already. My question to my audience and to whoever who listens to this for Zohran Mamdani, the 2025 Democratic nominee for New York. Because all New York votes for is Democrat, first of all. They don't care What type of authoritarianism, socialism? They don't care what comes with these guys that chant no kings protest when they're the authoritarians. They're the guys that told you, yo, you gotta stay in your house during the pandemic. They told you, yo, you gotta stay in your house. Yo, you gotta take this shot. That sounds like something a king would do, right? Yo, you can't say this on your social platform or you're gonna get banned. You can't say this on your YouTube channel because you're gonna get demonetized. That sounds like a communism, don't it? Whatever. Oh, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. Whew, this is my favorite. This is when I gotta turn on the flames in the back again because who's going to pay for this? Labor and wages raise New York City minimum wage to $30 an hour by 2030. Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. This sounds so amazing. But just like I said on my Twitter, right? This is what I said on my Twitter. Hold on. Because I wasn't even going to record. I didn't record last week. And I wasn't going to record today. But something in my soul just said, yo, you gotta record, bro. You have to record. You gotta record, bro. Where is this shit at, bro? So somebody posts up on X, right? Zohran Mamdani's platform. Somebody posted this picture. You know they got his thing right here. They got his campaign promises, which is going to destroy the city. Y'all are idiots. Y'all in New York are idiots. I'm a New Yorker. I'm from there. I don't live there no more. I left at 17. Over 10 years since I've been there, since I lived there. So look. So the guy that reposted, he says $30 minimum wage. You know what I say? This is what I say. If magically, if your city gets a mayor that demands a $30 minimum wage, LOL. For example, if all Wendy's in your city was paying 15 and Florida still has around the same wage, guess what? That Wendy's is probably going to fire everybody in your city that works there by shutting down and moving to Florida. Less jobs because all the businesses that pay a much lower national minimum is getting the hell out of there. Good luck in November, New York. Good luck in November, New York. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? This minimum wage thing that people want to raise by 2030, guess what? If Mr. Mamdani still wants the companies and corporations to stay there, that's something that he got to talk to with them. Since this is a capitalist society and not a socialist society, not a communist society, you can't tell the corporation, no, you have to stay there because it's in the law that you got to stay there and give these people jobs. No. McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Wendy's, you can name them. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to get the fuck out of New York. They're going to go bye-bye. They're going to go bye-bye. The people that was working there and getting some type of money with the $15 an hour check, you trying to give them 30. Oh, damn, they're going to get excited. Guess what? Say if Wendy's does stay there in the little city, whatever block it's in and whatever borough. Say it just stays as this one Wendy's. Say if there's 30 employees there. Guess what's gonna happen? You want to take a wild guess? You want to take a wild guess of what's gonna happen? The 30 employees is gonna cut down to about 10 to 12. The 12 is gonna really be carrying the joints on their backs. Yo, that's 18 people that just got fired. Now they have no money. When they try to go to the McDonald's down the block that's also paying 30, they're gonna only have 12 employees. The other 18 is gonna be no jobs. This is just me giving an example. So that's 36 people just off them two spots. Say if the McDonald's and the Wendy's had 30 and they cut it down to 12. That's 36 people that just got left without a job because you raised the minimum wage to 30. And guess what? That's best. That is best. That's best case scenario. What I just said is best case scenario. You know what's actually gonna happen? They might put, instead of having 6 Wendy's in a whatever, part of town they're in, instead of having 6 Wendy's, they'll probably cut down to 1, maybe 2. The other 4 is gonna move down to South Carolina, Florida, Texas, wherever, where the minimum wage is $14 an hour, $15 an hour, $16 an hour. There's gonna be more employees there. There's gonna be more jobs there. Those places that's in New York is gonna miss out on jobs because these places are going to leave. They're gonna go to a place where they can net more profit. This is capitalist society. Okay, these people create these businesses, buy these franchises to make more money. That's the bottom line. Of course, there's going to be places that say they're in service. We are in service, blah, 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 blah. That is something nice that they want to say, to not tell you that they want to make hella money, buy a nice car, have a nice house, pay for this kid's college. This is the reason why people create a business, create a service, sell the service, make money. This is basic math. Basic math. Raising New York City's minimum wage to $30 an hour by 2030, I'm going to tell y'all right now, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And if he does it, you're going to see a mass exodus of fast food restaurants. You can name it, that has a minimum wage or whatever it is now. Let's look at what today's minimum wage is. ChatGPT, what is today's national minimum wage? Holy shit. So, okay, so New York City right now is at $16.50 an hour. Washington, D.C. is $17.50 an hour. So, Mamdani, are you trying to tell me that you want to raise the minimum wage from $16.50 and push it up a 45% raise by 2030? Federal is $7.25. State and local $17.50 tops. So you want to raise the minimum wage 45%, give or take, by 2030. I'm going to tell y'all right now in New York, this is not going to happen without a cost. And that cost is going to be detrimental. It's going to be detrimental, okay? Because there's people in my Discord or whatever asking me, yo, Why should we not vote for Mamdani? Instead of me going and typing, I'm just gonna do a podcast episode on Zohran Mamdani. Do not vote for New York. This is gonna be the title of the video. New York, do not vote for Zohran Mamdani. No to Mamdani. That might be the name of the episode. No to Mamdani. Crazy, bro. Taxation and revenue. Increase corporate tax. This is number 4 for his campaign promise. His campaign promise. Y'all gonna learn, man. A lot of y'all that live in New York don't even know that he just won 2 days ago. Y'all don't even know who this guy is. Y'all gonna learn. Number 4. Taxation and revenue. Okay, listen. Corporations are the ones that employ you. Okay? There's a lot of people that say death to the, take from the rich. The rich are the ones that employ you, big dog. So all those people that say that, they know you're stupid. Okay? Number 4, taxation and revenue. Increase corporate tax from 7.25 to 11.5, matching New Jersey. Introducing a 2% income tax surcharge on households earning over $1 million a year, projected to raise $20 billion. Where is the $20 billion gonna go? I bet he won't tell you where that $20 billion is gonna go. You think that $20 billion is gonna go to them city programs? You think that's what's gonna happen? Raise an additional $10 billion via wealth tax to fund universal child care, fare freeze, free buses, tenant protections. Let me read this again. Raise an additional $10 billion via wealth tax to fund universal child care, fare freeze, free buses, tenant protections. So this is where the bread is going to go to with this bullshit that he said with the rent freeze and the social development agency and the free public transit that I read earlier, the universal child care that I read earlier, and the city-owned grocery stores. All that shit is going to come out your taxes as well, but he's not going to put that in the promise because he has to get your vote. You're the common man. The rich is only a couple. The common man and woman are in the millions. The rich is in the thousands. They don't need to appeal to them. He needs to appeal to you because you have the numbers to go vote. Okay? He's not going to tell you that this is going to get taken out your taxes as well. This is going to get taken out your money as well. The bread that you've been bringing home, the little 3,000-4,000 that you've been bringing home after tax is going to turn into 2,200 very fast. Tenant protections. Listen, the real estate agents that live in New York are going to get, the landlords, they're going to get out of New York. Tenant protections, that happened. This thing right here happened during the pandemic in New York. New York almost bottomed up. California already bottomed up because of the pandemic. New York almost bottomed up. There was a lot of people not paying their rent. They was taking that little $2,500. They didn't have to pay rent for the month. They was taking that $2,500 and going to Gucci. They was taking that $2,500 a month, going to Philippe's, going to what's the other spot? What's the other steak spot in New York? One of them high-end steak spots. Going to Roof Chris, getting the sweet potato casserole. This is what they was doing. Oh yeah, hold on. Number 5. I have to bring back the flames in the back because that's what's gonna happen. The city's gonna turn into Gotham, and you're gonna see shit burning for real, just like California. Public safety and community investment. Create a Department of Community Safety. That actually sounds pretty good. Deploy outreach workers to 100 subway stations, expand gun violence protection, prevention, and boost funding for hate violence programs by 800%. Hate violence programs by 800%. Who are the hate violence victims? What race? What identity? What gender? What sexuality? He's not saying this in his program. He's not saying that. Oh, reallocate funds from NYPD to community safety programs. So, if the police is not making your community safe, you're gonna take. Hold on. So, if you're gonna take the police money that are supposed to make the community safe, they have weapons, they got walkie talkies, they got guns, they got nightsticks, they got flashlights, they got handcuffs, they got cars, they could get to a spot to stop certain things from happening. What are these safety programs that have the same things that the NYPD has that can stop something from happening? That can save a child, that can stop a domestic violence call, that could stop somebody from getting killed, that could stop somebody from getting kidnapped. What are these community safety programs that I'm missing? Am I missing something? Are these people that's in these community safety programs, are they gonna have guns? Are they gonna be at the trap spot with the missing child, or the trap spot with the overdose victim, and they gotta step in there and kick open the door with the guns? Are they gonna have the same equipment that the NYPD got? Because you're gonna be taking the money away from them to give to these programs, Mr. Mamdani. Madman Mamdani. Zohran Mamdani. That's what we gonna call you. You're a madman. This doesn't make no sense. Number 6, social equity and identity. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Allocate 65 million for transgender affirming health services. Wow. Something that Donald Trump has federally banned. Oh, wow. Including clinics, nonprofit telehealth, and an LGBTQIA access hub. So you're funding you're funding a mental illness. You're funding kids going to these. This is insane. Listen, this right here. Launch Office of LGBTQIA Affairs, expand sanctuary protections for LGBTQ families, and affirm citywide reproductive and gender rights. You mean take them away? That's what you mean? Strengthen New York City as a sanctuary city and end cooperation with ICE. Ban ICE from city facilities and bolster legal and data privacy protections for immigrants. You forgot to say illegal. Zohran Mamdani, you forgot to say illegal immigrants. I missed the I didn't miss it. I just ain't report on it because everybody else was reporting on it. So Iran and Israel had this thing going on, this 12-day war, where say they were sending each other ballistic missiles back and forth, and we had to stop one country from having a nuclear weapon. And this particular country, Iran, something peculiar about Iran that y'all forget to miss. So this guy says he wants to stop ICE from coming into the sanctuary city, which he can't stop because federally he can't stop it. But he wants to strengthen it as a sanctuary city. So he's gonna put up things that'll stop ICE from getting into and finding these people. So you got, let me just throw it off the top of my head. You got Mexicans, Venezuelans, Haitians, Russians, Chinese, Asian. You got all kinds of people that we don't know who these guys are. We don't know their names. We don't know if the name that they gave us is their real name. We don't know their background. Right? We don't know their background. Let's say if out of these 15 plus million people that is rumored to have entered America with no paperwork, we don't know who they are. Say if 500 of them, just 500, that's it, are Iranians, and they seeing what we've been doing to Iran, how we've been helping Israel, how we got rid of their nuclear program, how Israel has been doing whatever they've been doing to Iran, and they chant death to America. I just want you to war game. Just brainstorm. This is just brainstorm. If those 500 Iranians are maybe rumored to be cooperating with each other right now in the United States, they got walkie-talkies, they got a plan, they got funding from whoever they've been funded from to cause havoc, because the only safe place that these, for my example, Iranians, 500 Iranians, I just threw out a number out there, they could only enter into a sanctuary city. California, Washington D.C., I assume, Oregon, New York, and amongst other sanctuary cities, Chicago. These so-called 500 Iranians that I'm using as an example, with walkie-talkies, cell phones, means of communication, money, they know how to make bombs, they know how to put it together, they know how they got a plan devised. And these sanctuary cities are the ones that are the targets because you let them in. What are the chances that this thing that this is Zohran Mamdani wants to do, by strengthening New York as a sanctuary city and stopping ICE from doing their job, wouldn't these Iranians that I'm rumored to say, that I'm talking about in my example, wouldn't they be happy as hell to hear, oh, wow, oh yeah, we got more room to do what we need to do here, cause real commotion. We don't like what they did with Iran. We don't like what America did to blah, blah, blah. Oh, Mamdani, he's Muslim and from India, right? Oh, don't worry about it. Forget it. That don't mean nothing. Number 7, climate and decarbonization, local version of the Green New Deal. The thing that they wasn't doing anything. They wasn't doing nothing with the Green New Deal. It was a waste of money. It was a laundering platform. That's what it was. A local version of a Green New Deal. Retrofit 500 public schools with solar and upgraded HVAC. Convert asphalt schoolyards to green space. Designate 50 schools as resilience hub for climate emergencies. What does that mean? You need to make the school more efficient. People need to learn better, learn faster, learn more efficiently. Everything needs to run smooth. What does that have to do with learning? If things aren't working as efficient as a gas-powered engine or gas-powered anything or oil-powered whatever, why would you use this? California does something like this. It just involves thousands upon thousands of pages of regulation. They try to get the solar power thing. You got to get regulated for that. This is not going to work. And who's paying for this? The city's going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it, New York. Listen, New York, listen, New York. You're going to pay for everything that this guy is talking about. He's not telling you that you're going to pay for it because he has to feed you the bullshit so you go out there and vote for him. 43% of whoever went to vote with Andrew Cuomo versus him, they went to vote for Mamdani, Madman Mamdani. I'm gonna need y'all to turn out way more this November, cause y'all gonna be sick and crying next January if he stays in his office, if he goes to the office. Extend tax incentives for compliance with Local Law 97, building emissions. Support statewide prohibition on fossil fuel installations in new buildings via All Electric Buildings Act. Let me give y'all if you don't know anything about America, right? America's power grid currently is not big enough to handle an all electric city anything. The electric grid is not big enough. In order for AI to work at its fully realized form, the power grid has to be doubled, tripled, maybe even more than that. New York City is not going to survive an all electric nothing act. It's not going to survive. But on the way to building this thing, guess who's going to pay for it? You guessed it. You are. That lives right there in Project Building, or this spot over here at Pelham Parkway and Grand Concourse, Jerome Ave, Manhattan. It don't matter where you live at. That's coming out your check. That's coming out your check. Number 8, vocal support for Palestinian liberation. Criticism of Israel's policies. This stance has drawn both strong endorsement and sharp criticism. This, you can say what you want about this. People think one side is wrong, the other side is wrong. One side is right, one side is right. That's up to you, okay? Do you want Iran to get a nuclear weapon? That's my only question. Yes or no? That's the only question you need to ask. If it's no, cool. If it's yes, you need a serious history lesson on what they've been proxying, paying for proxies, things that they've been doing, the chants they've been saying when they get on stages in front of mics about death to America. You need to learn about what's going on. Israel got a dark history too, but you got to pick a side for this. These other 7 campaigns platform, these other 7 things he wants for his campaign platform, it can happen, but you're gonna pay for it. New York City, you're gonna pay for it. Oh, you're gonna go to the grocery store, and this one grocery store that's gonna be completely packed, the city grocery store. Instead of getting the Frosted Flakes for $2.50, it might be $1.50, but you don't know that you not $2.50. Let's say if the box of Frosted Flakes is $6.50 at C-Town, and then you go to this city grocery store and the Frosted Flakes is $4.50, but you notice that the check that you had that month that you used to get before Mamdani walked in the office, it was $3,700, but for some reason you can't explain it. It went from $3,700 to $2,500. You've been getting the same pay. You've been grossing the same pay, but that shit went down $1,200. You could ride the bus for free. Oh shit, you could ride the bus for free. You could do this for free. You could, damn, that's crazy. But I'm bringing home I just lost 1/3 of my check. You paid for that $4.50. You paid for that Frosted Flake to be $4.50 at that one little city grocery store that he plans on building. Is it ever gonna get built? This guy reminds me of Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom, he says he's gonna clean up the streets in California. He's gonna clean up the streets. The streets is still the same in California. The streets is worse. The streets has never been as bad. Homelessness has stepped up. This guy he's looking like Gavin Newsom part 2, but way worse. This guy is way more aggressive. He's telling you exactly what he's gonna do. Gavin Newsom walks around it. He games you. He's, yo, we gonna do it, but and then he doesn't do it. And then he says yes, he gonna take a position, and then nah, he doesn't take a position. This guy is telling you what his position is. which is something I respect. Okay, y'all need to make y'all peace with Eric Adams. Y'all need to make y'all peace with Eric Adams. Y'all better vote for that man in November. This November 2025, November 4th. Y'all better go over there and vote for that man. Yeah, he wasn't that great of a mayor, but he respected the police. He did the best he could under the Democrat monarchy. Campaign platform. Y'all need to make peace with Eric. Okay, make peace with him. Say, yo, accept his forgiveness or forgive him and vote for that man. Cause you don't want Mamdani, Madman Mamdani, to run New York. I didn't even say that this was a think, peace, and conversation. This is a warning. This is a warning. Okay, New Yorkers, I know some of y'all still out there. I got friends that are still in New York. This guy gonna get y'all right up out of there. If he don't, y'all gonna be living on the street or y'all gonna be figuring something out. Alright? I'm out of here.